Welcome to the Road to the Rose Bowl, where we discuss college football. Wait. Hold on one sec.
Tyler, do you see that? In the distance.
Oh my God. Could that beautiful thing be? Brian? What is it?
It's a new logo.
A logo, you say?
What brilliant artist could have done this?
Who is the genius?
Jesus, obviously.
Pretty close.
It's on angel wings.
Wait. I think I figured it out. Michael Ellswick did this.
The famous Michael Ellswick?
The greatest artist of all time.
Oh, my Lord.
Yep.
Named after Michelangelo.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's true. You're onto something.
Yeah.
Great connection there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, we decided to start off with a little bit of a goofy intro because we just wanted to talk about this new logo real quick. I had a good friend painstakingly put this together for us, worked day and night. Great artist. His name is Michael Ellswick. On the next podcast, if he gives me permission to, I'll possibly let people know about him and stuff like that. Give out his maybe phone number, email in the description. I'll have to ask from him, but I just figured I'd give a shout out there because great artist, put a lot of work into it, and just a phenomenal guy.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It completely looks great. Well done.
Very, very, very proud of it.
I love you, Michael.
Don't make it weird, Jake.
But
You made my dreams come true.
it's art. It's beautiful, beautiful art.
I didn't know somebody could put a new twinkle in the sky.
Yeah,
Michael did it with this logo.
he figured it out, man.
Yeah, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about today,
Oh
though.
boy, we did.
Yeah,
Yes.
please, on to the football.
College football. Not even college football. Football in general just decided to go on a train wreck this
It's
week.
collapsing.
We'll be talking about everything
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. But we figured we'd start off with the recaps from last week. I figured we'd start with Auburn and Oregon. So, Brian, what did you think about this game?
As much as Auburn seemed to want to lose the game,
Yeah.
they managed to pull it off and gave me put my prediction.
Yeah,
they
you're
made it right. Yeah. So, because Oregon was the better team.
Yep.
I'll completely kneel to that. What was Auburn thinking with that pass offense?
Yeah, like the entire game, it was some of the worst play calling. Like you throw a freshman quarterback into that situation, you think you would try to ease him into that situation, but no, they just had him to sling it all around the field against the 11th ranked team in the country. I don't understand what the game plan was there.
And the worst thing is,
It worked.
at the end of it, it worked.
Yeah.
What kind of precedent does that make for the rest of the season?
Not sustainable. Jake, what do you think about Auburn versus Oregon?
I thought I should have gone with the team that had more uniforms.
But you would have been wrong.
Oh, wait, Oregon didn't win?
No, they didn't win. You didn't see the last half of that.
No, I watched the first half. And
Okay, yeah, the first half of it looked like Oregon was going to absolutely demolish them, because it was like 14-3, I think.
Yeah.
And then it
No, it was. I think it was 21 or 24-6.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter.
21-6.
Yeah.
You're right. Because I remember I was thinking, this is over. My prediction's wrong. Shucks. But then Oregon they pulled a Oregon.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like what Oregon does.
where is your hop now?
Because let's
Yeah,
face it,
gone.
Oregon. It was more
Dead.
about Oregon losing than Auburn coming back and winning.
Yes. But it was a good game of the week.
Yes,
I
it
will
was.
say. Yeah, it was the best game, except for one, which we'll get to later, which we all had a pretty funny. Jake, just give a hint.
I won. I feel like the episode of Breaking Bad whenever Walter blows up
Yeah.
the nursing home and he's like, his wife's like, what's going on? And
Yeah.
he just goes, I won.
Yep.
And then hangs up the phone. That's me right now. It feels great.
Yep. And me and Brian feel terrible. But
Y'all feel like half your face is blown off.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, we feel sad. The spirit of Tebow guided a team.
That's the spirit of Tebow guided them.
Yeah. But on to the NFL game that happened last night, the Packers versus Bears. What did you think about this sloppy, game?
It was fun to watch the two defenses go
Yeah.
at it the way they did, and just beat the offenses to death pretty
Yeah.
much. But, one thing I will take from the offenses is, with Green Bay's case, Aaron Rodgers just kind of looked out of sync because of the new playbook.
Yeah.
I give it a month. He'll gel with it. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He'll do fine. Mitchell Trubisky, I'm rooting for you, man.
Yep.
But
He did terrible, man.
He's awful. He played horrible last night.
Is this another Blake Bortles?
It could. Oh God, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it could be because Blake Bortles, he had like 1 year where he broke out, and everybody's like, "Oh, he might be like the next big thing," and then crashed and burned.
I really wanted him to be good because he has a really funny name.
Mr. Trubisky, yeah. Huh? Don't hear.
I was talking about Bortles.
Sure, whatever. Who cares? They both
Okay.
have silly names.
Fine.
Great silly names.
But
Silly names and silly uniforms.
Yeah. That's his. Hey, anybody that
But
don't
yeah,
know, Jake likes them uniforms.
But yeah, I was
Oh,
really
those
impressed by Green Bay Packers defense. It's been a while since they've had. In fact, like the last time they had a top 10 defense was 2010 when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So if they managed to do that, great. But I think both teams are going to do fine this year. Mm-hmm. Whatever the case may be, I think they'll both be playoff contenders. I do have Green Bay winning the division with Chicago going into the wild card. I don't trust Minnesota right now.
See, Minnesota should be the team to win that division because of the talent. But yeah, I'm with you. Like they're just so inconsistent.
'Cause
like, they have. Then their O-line's terrible.
Yeah, because I've seen everybody being like, oh, people just keep talking about Chicago and Green Bay. Well, what about the Vikings? They still exist. But I'm like, yeah, but they were supposed to exist last year too, and they missed the playoffs.
Yep, because I think that was actually everybody's pick for that division last year, including mine.
Yeah.
And they crashed and burned horribly. What do you think about the Packers versus Bears, Jacob?
Well, I like those defensive slaughter fests.
Yeah.
And
This is your kind of game.
yeah, I only watched tidbits of it. Like I watched a few plays in the first quarter, a few plays in the second, and a few in the fourth.
Yeah.
But it feels good to see Khalil Mack's doing good where he's at. I mean, really, I really like the guy. Awesome player.
Remember, he's a Raiders fan.
Yeah, and I wish him all the luck. I'm not one of those salty, seaworthy people.
Yep.
Khalil Mack is turning into one of my favorite players in the NFL.
I love him. I actually thought
Yeah.
he should have been the MVP from last year. Just
We
because of
both
the
said
impact.
that. The impact that he had.
Like,
being-
Mahomes had a great year.
Oh, yeah.
But as for I think MVP should be awarded to the most impactful player, not the best. Like which player can turn a team into something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only
I
problem
think
with
we both agreed on
Mahomes
that.
is he's got the Madden curse now.
That could be that's a real thing.
Yeah.
The Madden curse is a real thing.
I don't see him doing that well anymore.
That Gronk,
He got the Madden.
thought Tom Brady didn't get it.
Yeah, but that's Tom Brady.
True.
Yeah, Tom Brady's an anomaly to everything.
Hide your groin when you're talking about Tom Brady, please.
Yeah. I'll try not to be too happy. But we're going to get on to the Cowboys paying Zeke a unholy amount of money.
The highest paid running back in NFL history, I think.
Yeah.
$50 million a year contract? Is that what it was?
30, I think. Yeah.
6 years for $90 million.
Yeah, that was it.
So about $15 million a year.
Which is absurd. I hate this, actually.
Do you?
Yeah. I think he's the best player on the Cowboys, but whenever it comes to getting an offensive line for him, and plus he is getting a little bit older now. And
This will be his fourth year.
yeah, but running backs,
Running backs are very short.
He is halfway through his career right
Yeah.
now.
yeah.
Right now, yes.
So I don't know about. I don't know. For me, I don't really like
The
this.
only kind of player that needs to be paid that kind of money is one that they know is going to take them to the Super Bowl. If you're missing a person, and if you don't have them, you're not going to make the Super Bowl.
But I've also noticed this too, though. Any team that pays one individual that amount of money never goes to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like any team that spends all their money on just one player, it never pans out.
It's always for the name,
Yeah.
I think. It's always for the name.
Well, that and you have that player threatening to leave, and then you have the agent griping up a storm. I mean, it just creates a bunch of issues, and I don't know. I hate it.
I personally think he deserved it because he is the best player on the team, and it's a human thing. If you're the
Yeah.
best player in your position or on your team, you're going to want to be the most paid player on it.
Unless you're Tom Brady.
That's just the way it is. Like you said, Tom Brady's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he needs to be investigated by the CIA or something.
He might be a robot.
Well, I don't think he's a robot. I think he's an alien.
Yeah, that's true.
He's come from a planet of Footballia, and he was the worst player there, so he had to leave and find somewhere else to very well excel in.
Yeah.
He
Sure.
found
But
Earth.
anyway,
What Jake always has these.
but Yeah, but Ezekiel Elliott, he is kind of like what makes that offense go. I mean, I like Dak Prescott. I think he is a good quarterback, but a lot of that has to do with Zeke being in that backfield, stacking the box, and having one-on-one matchups to throw downfield. But so yeah, I'm not completely against him getting paid that much money, but there will be. How does this affect your team down the line is a very big question.
Yep.
Because you have 3 of the best offensive linemen on your team. All 3 of those guys are going to want to get paid.
I guess
Dak Prescott wants to get paid. Amari Cooper wants to get paid. Those are 5 guys on your offense that are going to want to get paid.
Amari Cooper may very well be a future Hall of Famer too.
No, he's fine. Like, he's a good receiver, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. But I will say this: one thing I'm not. I guess I'm looking at this more as like the owner mentality of. Or like, the management. I understand like the best player should get paid the most money, whatever. And for that player, I understand his reasoning. But also, if I'm over management, I would say no, we'll just draft another running back. But that's just me.
Do you really think anyone else would have paid that much for Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah, a really bad team. Like Miami would because they're stupid, and then you have Buffalo, which is stupid, and you have a bunch of organizations. The Raiders are stupid. They paid a child 30.
Can we just go ahead and talk about the 700-pound gorilla in the room?
No, we'll get to that buffoonery here in a minute. That's its own little section. But
I'm about to go on a freaking tangent here.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go on to the NFL games of the not games of the week, but what NFL games are we looking forward to?
Right.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking forward to mainly is 2, actually. I'm looking forward to the Patriots and Steelers game. I'm interested in seeing how the Steelers are going to do with Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner.
Yeah.
And how well Devin Bush is going to do in that linebacker spot. And the Patriots...
Devin Bush and Chase Winovich, too, will be playing against each other.
You're right.
Yep,
yeah.
Two Michigan kids.
Yes,
Yep.
So that'd be fun. And it's the Patriots and the Steelers. This is kind of a new rivalry of the decade kind of thing. And it's pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Also, just because I'm a fan of Saquon Barkley, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do against a good Dallas defense.
Yeah.
Because he's the only bright spot of that team right now.
Yep.
Oh man, another
mess.
Another Barry Sanders story, and it's going to be sad.
Yep.
But so yeah, those are the main 2 things I'm looking forward to because and that's really. I'm just glad NFL football's back.
I am too.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I get excited for NFL football for I think a very different reason than you do. Like I get my football fix, like actually watching football with college, but I like the drama of the NFL, the stupidity of it just again, we'll get to that here in a minute. But
you get a lot more narratives in the NFL than you do in college football.
Just nonsense.
but I'm sure Jacob is looking forward to the Raiders-Broncos game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually my most anticipated game of the week for one reason.
I really can't wait to watch us take on the Donkeys.
Yep. The Denver Donkey. That's what I call them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not have delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, he's a very sad boy, and we'll get to that. But he's just had a very tough week as a Raiders fan. It's been one nightmare after another.
It has.
Yep.
Damage control.
Yeah, badly.
But I can't wait to see them play. But there's one player I'm really looking forward to seeing on the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
It isn't who you think it is.
Yeah.
It's Vontez Burfict.
You know what?
I'm very much looking forward to seeing him on the
to
field.
see what he does. I'm also intrigued to see what Derek Carr does.
Derek Carr's a good quarterback if he's got an O-line.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
you can say that's the case for most quarterbacks, though.
Yeah, true.
That's the most important part of the entire team, really.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing how that Denver offense is going to do.
With Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco, and you got Lindsey in the backfield.
I don't think it's going to be that great.
I think it'll be mediocrity.
No.
Maybe 9-7. I think they'll be a good team. I
do not think they're Super Bowl contenders.
Who, Denver? No. No.
They're barely playoff contenders.
Yeah. They ain't going to the playoffs. Denver's horrible. I mean,
they're doing real bad this year. I might be thinking of I'm thinking of the damn Chiefs.
Yeah.
But they are Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, the Chiefs are Super Bowl contenders. They're good.
No, you got the Madden curse.
If their players quit getting in trouble,
If their players quit beating their children.
yeah, if they're getting women, that might help. But
Stop it, Tyreek,
Yeah.
please.
and that's a good segue, actually. Who do y'all have winning the Super Bowl?
Who winning is kind of big, but my two picks are I think the Eagles and the Chiefs will go to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Chiefs will pull it out.
Yeah.
Because those are the two most hyped teams going into the league pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not really hard picks. The Eagles might be a little bit because some people are thinking that the Cowboys will win that division. But I don't know. I like the Eagles. I like Carson Wentz. I like Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid, if he can get a good defensive coordinator in there, I think that he's a fine offensive mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like Doug Peterson. So, yeah, I think that these are two fair picks, is the Chiefs and the Eagles.
It'd be a fun narrative because Doug Peterson was under Andy Reid.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be cool. But
And seeing Carson Wentz come back from injury and leading his team to success will be good.
It's also a bad pick, too, because the Dark Lords are still in the NFL. Yeah, that team in the Northeast. You fear them. New England. Unstoppable machine. New England's going. I got New England winning it. I actually have them winning it over. I'm gonna say just because of narrative sake, I'm gonna say they're gonna get revenge on the Eagles. I'd like to see that, but
Okay.
Yeah, all jokes aside, Kansas City's a good pick. They're a good team. I just hard to bet against Satan and Tom Brady.
We get it. You're a Pats fan.
Yeah. All right, who do you got, Jake?
The Oakland, no, not in the next decade will
No.
they make it to a dang playoff game.
Yeah, they're awful.
But in honesty, and just because if they don't do it this year, it'll never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland Browns. I really want them to make it to the Super Bowl, and I really want them to win it.
Cleveland's a good dark horse pick because this is the year they have to get some stuff.
Yeah, if they don't do it this year, it'll never happen. They're going to collapse into themselves like a dying star after this year.
Yeah, because they have too many personalities. That's only sustainable for a year or so. And that with a new rookie head coach. I mean, that's going to be interesting. I'm excited for the Browns, but
I couldn't tell you any other team really. Just the Browns. I really want them to win.
yeah, why not? But oh boy, this is what we've all been excited to talk about. This is. I'm going to ask Jake first. Jake, how do you feel about the Antonio Brown circus that's been going on in Oakland, California?
I'm so glad you asked. Oh Lord.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, just woo
First
that
things
sadness
first.
out.
Yep.
If I were put in Gruden's shoes right now,
Yeah.
Antonio Brown would never see the field as a Raider.
No.
Ever.
Lord no.
He would be out the door already.
Yep.
And if I was playing for the Raiders, I would beat him with a sack of potatoes while he was asleep.
Well, yeah, you could there because there ain't a potato famine there like Florida.
That's true. No potato. We have a
glorious potato famine.
we just don't have
talked
any-
about last week.
we just have the gold crisis over there. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I would do. And Antonio Brown, I gave him pretty good. Well, 2 chances.
Yeah.
Because even like the very first
Jake would
thing-
always come to me like when I mentioned Antonio Brown is a distraction to the team. Jake would always say to me, "Well, this is a restart. Let's see what he does. I think he'll improve as a human being, not only as a player, but a human being."
Yeah, I would. You're going to the modern day Raiders.
Yeah.
From a playoff contender team.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, you know what, Pittsburgh Steelers, the biggest problem was Big Ben.
Yeah.
That was my thoughts on them. I was thinking Antonio
See, I
Brown.
thought the same thing too until Antonio Brown got in Oakland and
Well, Antonio Brown, even at the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was like apologizing whenever Ben was like blaming stuff that wasn't even his fault.
Mm-hmm.
But he comes to the Raiders and he doesn't think this is probably my last chance. This is my last chance. If you've never seen the show, it's
Yep.
on Netflix. Go watch it. It's awesome.
Great Netflix
Awesome
series.
show. But anyway, this was his last chance, and he goes and he calls he calls Mayock
Yeah.
a cracker and threatens to beat his face in.
He's trying to fight man.
He wants to fight them. And the funniest thing,
Yeah.
Gruden, 3 hours later is like, you know what?
He's gonna play.
We're going to play him. We're going to play him. And I'm just like, Gruden, what are you doing?
All because a report came out saying, "Oh, Antonio Brown gave a sincere apology." Like,
Yeah, the most sincerest of apologies. He came out and said, from the bottom of
the greatest apology ever.
from, from the bottom of my heart, let me just tell all of you,
yeah,
my bad.
Yep.
That's his apology.
yeah. And the Raiders like, good enough.
Yeah, fine.
You know,
I mean,
play him. He's talented.
He's talented, but he is a cancer.
Yeah, he's going to
And
end up destroying.
I've given him 2 chances. I gave him the first chance when he came, and he sort of broke it with not showing up to practice.
Yeah, because
and then the helmet
was it, cryo vapor or whatever.
It
he
was.
put his foot in something.
He was taking cryotherapy
Yeah.
to fix his feet, and he messed up on it.
He did
Yeah.
it barefooted.
Oh,
He got third-degree burn.
Yeah.
Or some. Or no, not that. Something happened to him.
Yeah, he got ice burn. He got frostbite on his feet.
Yeah, frostbite. That's
And
what I meant to say.
what had happened was, after that, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. That was
Yeah.
a dumb move, but could happen to anybody. Whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then the helmet fiasco.
The helmet fiasco is probably my favorite of all time, just because of the stupidity of it.
And I was just like, you know what? Fine. I'll give you this chance. You got over it.
The helmet fiasco to me is something that a little kid in Little League complains about if they don't get the helmet they want. Like if they didn't get the Revo Speed helmet they wanted, they'd be like, "Oh well, I don't want to play this year, mommy, because I didn't get what I wanted."
Yeah.
This is a 30-year-old man
With children.
With children.
Yeah, and he has to set an example for his children too. Oh God.
Oh. Well,
Well, what kind of example does this set for the younger players?
Yeah. I as a rookie right now, this has to be the most confusing situation
no, actually,
in history.
from what I've read up, the tight end, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Clemson tight end, awesome player in college.
Yeah.
He actually said that he had learned a little bit from Antonio Brown's playing.
Oh yeah.
And that he was going to try and implement it.
I mean, he's a great player.
Yeah, and if you just learned,
no one's arguing that.
But if he just took that, I would say that we could possibly have a really good tight end. So you still need to get rid of Antonio Brown.
Yes, immediately. It has to. You cannot keep him.
But after,
because I can tell you what's going to happen here. He's going to apologize to the team. He's going because the whole. Okay, to lay it out to anybody that don't know, if he does not play on week 1, then his contract can be possibly vetoed for that $30 million guaranteed, and the Raiders will not owe him a single dime, and they can trade him without any penalty. So
who would take him?
Of course, he's going to apologize. Well, honestly, I'd release him.
Yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I'm saying. I said just cut him.
I would try to trade him just to see what the market does, but I know no team with any sense would take him. I mean, there was a lot of stupid teams. Out there.
Don't get
Arizona might because they're dumb.
Don't get me wrong. What would make me laugh so hard is if Gruden went to the Bills and said, "Take Antonio Brown," and they said, "Okay." That'd be the greatest thing ever.
That would be the funniest scenario because
Antonio Brown hates the Bills.
Yeah, he don't want to go there. It's cold. Brian, what do you think about the AB disaster?
I wasn't done ranting.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
We'll get to you, Brian, but I need to
He
vent.
is the Raiders fan.
This is
Just
awful.
Vent
This is
it out.
awful.
Just let it out.
But
Let it go.
after the second chance, he goes and he does this.
He tries to fight the owner.
He won't. Not the
Not
GM.
the owner.
The
The
GM.
management, yeah.
If he would have threatened to fight Mark Davis, I would have cracked up if his bowl head looking ass went and beat him to death.
Put him in a ring like Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV back then. Like just have him fight to the death.
Mark Gruden or no, Mark Davis
Mark
versus
Gruden.
Antonio Brown
You could call him Mark Gruden because again,
in a Hell in a Cell.
now.
But
Get in the ring and get in there now.
and the day before, even on Hard Knocks, I was like, okay, Antonio Brown, you're doing really good, dude.
Yeah.
You're catching up with the team. You're trying to be sociable, and you're trying really hard to push yourself. And I'm like, yes.
Coming to the first day of practice in a hot air balloon.
No. It's even funnier. You know what he did? He took the hot air balloon on a wine tasting tour, and then came to practice
So he showed up drunk.
half drunk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's true?
I didn't learn about this until like earlier today.
That is the greatest
I found-
story
yeah.
I've ever heard.
I browsed the Oakland Raiders Reddit for like news on the Raiders, and it linked me to a like a news site that was talking about it, and I was just like, "Oh my God!"
Why? For any Raiders fans, like at first I was like laughing and stuff, but this is sad.
No, do not feel sorry for Raiders fans. They're defending. They are the.
Yeah.
They're defending Antonio Brown.
Yeah. They're saying that what's his name should have.
Mayock should have not fined him,
Yeah.
and none of this would have ever happened. They're blaming it on Mayock for doing the right thing.
If I was him, I would have been worse with it. I'd be like, okay, you're off the team. I can't deal with this.
I couldn't. If I was the owner, I mean, I've got a short temper with people like that. I probably would have thrown fist with him.
Yeah.
We would have been rolling
I would have
around.
sicked Vontez Burfict on him.
Vontez attack. Well, actually,
Yeah.
even funnier, Vontez Burfict was defending Mayock from Antonio Brown and trying to separate them.
Whenever Vontez Burfict is the voice of reason in your locker room, things have went awry. It is a absolute nightmare.
I love Vontez Burfict. He reminds me of Lyle Elzado,
Yeah.
and I love players like that. And I hope that he can get rid of the whole targeting thing.
Yeah.
But I still want him to really be
I
aggressive.
do think the
know what I mean?
Raiders will set a new record for the most fined team in NFL history.
That would
Not
actually.
even just him. I think Antonio Brown's going to get fined. I believe.
He's already been fined. 45,000 or was it 45,000, Brian?
It was 54.
$54,000.
$54,000.
And you know what even also makes me think? Antonio Brown, $30 million contract,
Yeah.
and he's getting peeved over a $54,000 fine that was his fault.
Yeah.
And he couldn't just be like,
Well-
you know what? Yeah, I was stupid. I'll try and fix this.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of this is a lot to blame. A lot of the blame does go to the Pittsburgh Steelers because this is behavior that they enabled.
Sure.
This is because I'm sure. Do you really think this is the first year he's missed training camp
No,
practices or?
No, I think this.
Right, yeah.
This don't come out nowhere.
Yeah. And we never heard a word about him getting fined or him being benched for games or anything like that. They allowed him to do all this.
Yeah, Pittsburgh was very good. They're like the mob. They were very good at covering up these things until it just got too big
And
blew up.
Well, that's what I love about Mayock, though. He was trying to do what Pittsburgh never did.
yeah.
And this is what happened.
Yeah.
So this just shows you the dude that he truly is.
Yeah. Monster.
He's awful.
He's a child. But yeah, for any Raiders fans, y'all are going to have a horrible season.
And I'm going to laugh at you all.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cry for myself
Yeah.
because
the dumpster fire.
this is.
I'm kinda-
Why can't we get John Madden back? Just give us John Madden. He'd do it.
to lighten the tone though, Jake, I'm disappointed you didn't catch my Bo Burnham reference.
What was that?
I said right before you went into it, I said, "Woo that sadness out."
Woo, that sadness out.
I was disappointed you didn't catch that.
I'm sorry. I was just
Were
too.
you
You gotta remember, he does suck.
I'm riled up.
It is a staple of the
right.
show that.
Yeah, Jacob does suck.
For
He is
context, me and Jake are huge Bo Burnham fans.
Yeah.
So
My God, man, I could go on about an AB for hours.
Yeah, but.
and it sucks
I
because
guess-
I was a huge AB
was
fan
too.
2 years
yeah.
ago. I loved AB.
Yeah.
I even thought that people overreacted when he did the Facebook thing.
I agree.
Yeah, it was bad, and
but-
I don't think or anything like that. But when people were saying they need to get rid of him, they need
No.
to do this. But
Then it.
I think I'm going to reference Shannon Sharp here, who
Mm-hmm.
he was like one of the first people that I saw say get rid of Antonio Brown after that Facebook thing.
Yep.
And because pretty much what his reasoning was because this is the start of it.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse from here.
It's like a disease.
And he was right.
Yeah.
He was on point.
And I'll be honest, I did have sort of the Raiders mindset on whenever
the
Antonio-
bad boys. Like bringing the bad boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had like, you know what?
The misfits, the
bring,
outcasts.
bring us your outcasts, and we will mold them how we want them. Is
Yeah,
what I
but
was.
the problem is y'all don't have the culture for that right now.
Yeah,
That's
we
true.
we have
We have a buffoon as a head coach.
we have retard culture right now.
Yeah,
It's
your
terrible.
head coach is an idiot.
I was, yeah. I can't, you know what? Actually,
they're paying him how much he.
$100 million 10-year
Yeah.
contract.
That is
That's Gruden, yeah. John Gruden's, yeah.
That is the dumbest. Raiders are a dumbster fire.
And AB's getting paid $30 million guaranteed.
yeah.
That's
That's
all.
100
Where's this money going?
That's $130 million.
You
to two
didn't want to
different
pay
people.
Khalil Mack this?
Yeah.
Amari Cooper.
I could care less about Amari Cooper.
Khalil
we have
Mack.
a fine tight end now.
Yeah.
We got decent wide receivers.
Quill Mack and an offensive line is where the money should have been spent.
Oh, yeah.
They got these. We talked about this last week, where these teams they get all these flashy players. Oh, I gotta have Odell Beckham, or I gotta have Antonio Brown. I gotta have Le'Veon Bell. Where's the O line?
Hey, Mark Davis, please bring us in as consultants.
Yeah.
Please let us help your organization,
You know,
sir.
we're just three chums sitting around a ping pong table.
Yeah,
but
we can do
I
it.
feel like we're right on this. Like,
I know we're right on
yeah,
this.
Yeah.
It's just because
Do you want to kill your quarterback?
Because I talked about this. Yeah, it's not rocket science.
No.
It's hard. You got to make a lot of deals. You got to pull a lot of strings.
And
But
it's hard to find the right talent
Yes.
for the offensive line. But
yes, but
that is where that's where your
but
priority
there's no like secret
No.
to keys to success. It's just you just have to put your money to the right places.
Yep.
And one of the right places is an offensive line. Because
Yeah.
without an offensive line, your offense is
There's no way to get
doomed.
rid of. There's no way to get rid of Gruden for 9 years, is there?
No.
no. He is there. You are stuck with him.
Yeah, and that's been the problem with Antonio too. If Antonio Brown plays week 1, y'all stuck with him for the rest of the year. And possibly 2 years because it's guaranteed money. So there's no way of really vetoing that contract if he plays. Week
If
1.
it gets bad enough,
He's
they'll
playing
find
week
a way
one.
to get out of it.
It'd be tough.
It would be, but if it's
he-
bad enough, they
he
will.
He is playing week 1 according to
Yeah,
John Gruden.
that's what I've heard too.
And that might be cause another infighting between Mike Mayock and John Gruden.
Yeah.
We might have this triangle of just
We're going to be awful
insanity.
for 10 years, guys.
yeah,
I chose the worst time to really
become a Raiders fan.
Yeah, I became one like a year
Yeah.
year and a half ago, and I was just like, you know what, we might be able to do some stuff. And then they were like, John Gruden, 10 years, $100 million.
Why? in a lot of other places, they do look better.
Yeah.
The Raiders do. They technically improved from last season.
They did.
Yeah.
But
It's the if you look at like
the
just on
distractions.
You've
paper-
got
Like,
you've
if
got
you
John
look-
Gruden's play calling.
If you look at like if you look at like a spreadsheet of like, oh, these players' stats that they got and all the talent they brought in, they obviously improved.
yeah.
But you have to consider in personalities like that. It destroys NFL locker rooms.
Which I actually don't think that there's too many bad personalities besides Antonio Brown. Derek Carr
Richie
has
Incognito.
Richie
yeah,
Incognito.
Richie
Jake.
He's
Incognito.
a monster.
He
He's a horrible human being.
you watch. He's going to bring like a jar with his dad's head in and swing it around at the running backs.
Yeah. He's a terrible human. Heck, he threatened to shoot it up. So
I mean, it'd be hilarious if Richie Incognito and Vontez Burfict like excelled and did amazing.
and they were like great people.
Yeah,
Like,
and then-
helped
and they
out
turned
the
it-
community.
Which Vontez Burfict, he as you were
Montez
telling me,
Burfict
he's not that
actually-
bad of a
yeah,
person.
He's not that bad. It's just on the field stuff. He does stupid.
Yeah,
crap.
he's just a
He's an idiot. on the
overly
field.
overly
very-
dirty player. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's aggression. I'd just say it's just
Well,
stupid
because his thing
decisions.
in Hard Knocks, you kind of got a glimpse of Hard Knocks of how like the things seem to be going. Because towards the beginning of it, you barely because what was like all the narratives you kind of wanted to see, like, oh, John Gruden or Antonio Brown, Vontez Burfict, Richie Incognito. It just became the John Gruden show towards the end of it.
It did.
I only watched the first episode.
It like from what I've heard, I haven't seen all of it, but from what I've heard and the consensus of it, yeah, it just became the John Gruden show.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of memes of John Gruden lately, like "knock on wood" is a meme that I don't get.
He pretty much knock on wood if you agree with me. He made every single player in the meeting room just say knock on wood if you agree with me.
Nothing better than an echo chamber, right?
Yeah.
Another thing was there was one clip that I saw where he was trying to show off his brain skills to the younger players by counting backwards by 3 from 100.
He's an idiot.
Like 100, 97, 94. He kept going, and he did the whole thing.
Well, I mean, if he ever gets pulled for drink driving, he'll be good on that front.
He'll be able to sing his
Don't see how
ABCs
to help coach
backwards.
football, but
He's like, "Officer, I'm not
so
drunk and I can
weird.
prove it. You want to know how? I can count my ABCs backwards in threes."
That's that.
And
y'all
you're immediately
have-
going to jail.
y'all hired a buffoon as a head coach. But getting on to more disasters going on in the
Oh,
football
God.
world. This one's hilarious, and again, this one actually is the opposite with Jake. This one's he can rebel in this for now. The spirit of Tebow helped guide Georgia State to beat Tennessee.
Georgia State beat an SEC team,
Yeah.
and now they're going to the Rose Bowl.
Yep, why not? Even though it has no affiliation with the Sun Belt, but okay.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but they'll just make a special rule for Georgia State because the spirit of Tebow will guide them.
That's
But-
correct.
But I figured that I would ask Brian first. What do you think about the state of Tennessee football? Like, where do you think this all? What do you think this means for the football program?
I don't know. I assume this is a complete assumption and speculation on my part. Was there hype for this Tennessee team, like as a bounce back year?
7-5, 8-4. Yeah, a lot of people thought this Tennessee team would be decent this year.
And your first week, you lose to Georgia State.
Yeah, a glorified Division II school. They've had a football program for 10 years.
And the thing is, it's not like Tennessee played terribly. Georgia State just outplayed them.
Yeah. Well, I noticed this later on in the game. Tennessee players looked tired. Like it looked like they wouldn't even. It looked like they they didn't have enough endurance to hang around with Georgia State out of the
That's
Sun Belt.
because Georgia State was rolling them, son.
Oh yeah, because they're going to roll the Sun Belt.
Which honestly, I think a lot.
That's
of it,
right.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of it had to do with the fact that Georgia State was just scared of their head coach. Did you
That's-
see?
yeah,
Did you
that
see
man's
him
a
on?
madman. No,
He makes Vince McMahon look like a anger management
was
counselor.
was that the dude that was like doing push-ups with the team out like in like before the game, and he was like leading them in push-ups and sit-ups and stuff like that?
I do remember seeing a coach doing that. I can't remember. If
I don't know if that was
exactly
Georgia
him,
State.
but no, that might have been Georgia Tech. I'm not entirely sure, but Georgia State.
The
their
head coach was like a monster.
Yeah, their head coach is a very angry man.
Yeah, he was like screaming at them the entire time.
He's running
It
up and
worked.
down the field.
He was like
He's-
cracking the whip the entire game.
But that game really for me, like, I was actually decent on Tennessee too. I thought they'd have like a 7-5, 8-4 year. Decent. Not anymore. They're losing to BYU this week. I can tell you now. BYU looked bad against Utah, but BYU didn't put up that.
Well, you had to get the sense though that BYU has to be pissed.
Yeah,
about
they
their,
lost to the rival.
But and Tennessee just has to be just deflated.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah.
I don't see it going well for them.
No, I do want to bring up one thing. So Georgia State fans, and Jake, you probably haven't even heard of this, but this is the funniest thing in the world. Georgia State fans decided to get like a charter van or whatever, and they drove it through Knoxville, if I'm not mistaken, with the Georgia State game playing. And they did that. They went through Knoxville, and on the back of like the charter bus, the Georgia State and Tennessee game was playing. They trolled Tennessee like the entire week.
Oh,
Yep. That's the best burn of all.
I love. I'm an avid Georgia State fan.
Yeah.
If you can't tell,
Yeah, he likes them because he chose them one time on NCAA.
that's true.
And, okay, and here's the thing.
I ain't lying about it.
And here's the thing. Georgia State could lose every single game from
Yeah.
here on out, and
Their
it wouldn't-
season's been made.
and it wouldn't matter. No matter how bad they do, this man here is never going to let this first week die.
Yeah.
He's always going to bring it up.
You want to know why? Because they beat Tennessee.
And the spirit of Tebow guided them.
Yeah,
Somehow.
Yeah.
Because Tebow has a lot to do with Georgia State,
Tim
Tebow
has nothing to do with Georgia State, Jacob.
Yeah,
What is wrong with you?
Tim Tebow, last year of college football was 2009. Georgia State got a football program in 2010.
See? Tim Tebow helped start it after he was done
He
with
inspired them with his
Yeah,
great
while
words
he
and
was-
knowledge.
while
that
he was-
amazing, terrible speech he gave.
While he was doing
That stupid it's plaqued.
while he was doing those weird stuff in 2010 in Denver.
Yep.
Yeah, he decided to take a break from all that and start a Georgia State program.
Yeah.
John Gruden recruit Tim Tebow.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
That's what
The
they
spirit
need
of
to do.
Tebow
Is
will
he-
guide the
is he
Ravens.
still-
That's what they need to do, yeah.
Is he still trying to get into baseball, Tim Tebow?
I'm not entirely certain. I remember there for a bit he was trying to get
He could
into
probably
it.
make it in the minor leagues just for the name.
Yeah.
He
yeah,
did.
just
He wasn't.
because-
He was in the minor leagues.
Yep. Because imagine the jersey sales.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous.
Especially if he was
And-
wearing 15.
The funny thing is, 98% of those sales are straight to Florida. They're all going. Everyone loves Tim Tebow in Florida except for in Dade County.
Yeah, the worst state of all time. I'm gonna
Coincidentally, has the worst city of all time
Yeah.
in Miami.
I'm just going to harp on this because Florida is garbage. I just figured I pointed out
What
last
is your?
week.
They have meth gators, Brian.
Yeah, they'll eat you up.
It's just.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate Florida.
What was all those pictures you were sending me the other day?
Yeah, I sent him like just a bunch of stupid Florida
man,
stuff.
I'm a,
But we gotta move on.
Yeah.
fine.
Who impressed you week one, Brian? What player like stood out to you?
I'll be honest. This is a bit of a out of left field dark horse pick.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed by Terry Wilson from Kentucky.
Yeah, he played well.
He actually played really well because he was frustrating to watch as a UK fan last year.
Yeah.
Because every now and then he would do something really awesome, but the rest of it, he just looked so like unpoised, just out of sync,
Yep.
and it was just so hard to watch. But now, man, he I don't know what he did over the offseason, but he's improved.
Yeah.
He looked poised. He looked confident. He looked like he was really adjusted to the offense. I was impressed.
Was he a rookie last year?
Freshman.
No,
He was a sophomore.
Sophomore,
He's a
yeah.
junior this year.
Yeah, he was a transfer sophomore because he actually started his career off. For anybody that don't know, he started his career off actually at Oregon and then transferred to Kentucky.
Okay, so he was sort of a rookie for Kentucky at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Um,
So it may have just taken a little bit to get used to, but yeah, I remember watching him last year.
yeah, he was terrible in some games.
he
They
was-
win.
I think it was their defense that carried him.
It was.
And Benny Snell.
Yeah.
It was the defense of Benny Snell. But the problem was he never threw the ball away. He just took so many sacks.
He did. He did, because he always thought he could make the big play. What player impressed you, Jacob?
Tui.
Tui? Yeah. Yeah. You gotta love that Tui.
Yeah, I like him.
Yep. He played good against Duke, even though they didn't score a point in like the first quarter.
Did they? I didn't watch that game.
Duke actually, all jokes aside, Duke actually played very good in the first quarter.
Came to play, did they?
First team to hold Alabama scoreless since I think 2011.
That's cool.
Which, that was awesome. But you know, what happened. Alabama absolutely.
Yeah,
murdered them.
didn't he throw like four
Yeah.
second half touchdowns or
Yeah,
something?
they beat the holy hell out of
Yeah.
them. It was
What
amazing.
position does Tui play, by the way?
Quarterback.
Quarterback.
Okay.
Oh no, they just had the running back throw 4 touchdowns.
See, I thought
Yeah.
that Tui was the running back, honestly.
No, Tui is not. No,
It's Tua.
Tui.
Jake.
Banjo and Katui.
Ratatouille. But you speaking of Alabama, and yeah, the player
Roll
impressed
Tide.
you. Yep, the player that impressed me was actually the transfer out of Alabama, Jalen Hurts.
See, Alabama's
he
the
had-
best.
He had 6 touchdowns for Oklahoma, and he I don't know. He's always one, and I believe he said the right thing too after the game. Like after he had a record-setting day for Oklahoma, he said, "We got a lot of work to do. Like we need to improve." And you know, he's a very mature player, and
Yeah.
I just really like him.
That's actually a really good thing to hear from
Yeah.
a transfer student.
Yeah.
Like that's what a coach likes.
Because he probably has like that same mentality of like Alabama. And they just
I
have
hope
a
he proves me
31.
wrong.
Yeah,
And he's on the track of doing that.
Yeah.
Because what I said 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually texted you like during that. I was like, you might have to eat crow.
Hey, and I would happily do so in Jalen Hurts. I just wasn't buying in the fact that I wasn't sure how well he was going to fit into a Lincoln Riley offense.
Yeah.
And he really wasn't as accurate of a passer. But if I have to eat crow, I will gladly do so.
Yep, ate a whole fistful.
I'm going to
of it.
stick with it. I'm going to stand by it.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, I have to.
I have to stick with mine, which is Nebraska doing good, and they got outscored by South Alabama in the second half, 21-7. They luckily won the game, but good God, the fact that South Alabama was hanging around for Nebraska. Oh boy, I don't think any of our bold picks are going to work out. Kentucky's not going to Sugar Bowl.
Alabama would have to be the third best team in the SEC for that to happen,
Yeah.
Jake.
But yeah, I was thinking about this. You picked Florida to win the SEC, which means so that would mean they're probably in the playoffs. So the SEC representative to go to the Sugar Bowl would be Kentucky, and Alabama would be the third best team in the SEC.
You're both gonna eat a lot of crow.
Yeah.
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
You're gonna eat those words.
Yeah. Them crows don't exist that you're talking about.
That's the
Yeah.
were crow.
Yeah. So who do y'all have winning the national championship?
I'm going to say Alabama will.
All right.
I think that after what happened last year with that disaster that happened, I think that they'll come back, and if they were to play against Clemson again, I think the results will be different.
Yeah, they're out for blood.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, if I were a smart person, I'd pick Alabama or Clemson, but I'm a fanboy, so I'm just going to go with the Fighting Irish.
Of course you do.
You're insane.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
even know what
Not as insane as Kentucky winning the Sugar Bowl,
Yeah.
Jake, so shut up.
yeah,
I say that out of ignorance.
you have Florida winning the SEC East. They're not even going to beat Georgia.
I say all these things out of ignorance.
Like, at least my team was in the playoffs last year. But who's your pick?
Texas.
Yeah, you got Hook 'em Horns.
Hook 'em horns, man.
They do have one of the best quarterbacks in the country, Sam Ellinger.
Some of the best uniforms.
Yep. I do love their uniforms,
They're
actually.
not. I love their field, dude.
Yeah.
They have a nice field.
They have like a nice shade of like burnt orange and white.
It's not like Tennessee's.
ugly, god-awful checkered look. I hate them uniforms.
I don't even hate checkered. I just hate that color.
Yeah.
I actually, Joe Clyde actually had a pretty funny story on his Colin Cowherd appearance that he had about Texas. I won't go into it, but if you guys want to watch that, he had a pretty a nice little story about the Tennessee uniforms.
Yeah.
That he had the last time he played the Texas uniforms. I'm sorry, I think I said Tennessee.
Blundering.
Texas again, and the Texas was like the last team he played against.
Yeah.
And he said that.
I actually watched that game too.
Did you?
Yeah, it was 70-7.
Yeah.
That was the year Texas had Vince Young and they won the national championship over USC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hook 'em horns.
Yeah.
But yeah, Texas isn't really that bad of a pick. I still hold that I do think that Texas will win the Big 12.
I'm sticking with my Oklahoma one, especially from what I seen the other night. But it's still in Texas. The rest of the Big 12, what I seen was, I know everybody's going nuts. Oh, the Big 12 is the only conference to go 10-0 in their first week. Yeah, because 7 of the Big 12 teams played FCS teams. Like, okay, congratulations. You had Iowa State, your third best team, going to overtime.
You
with
beat the
FCS
crap out of a
team.
bunch of 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent.
Well, you had Kansas barely beat Indiana State. They beat them by 7. And you had Iowa State going to overtime with the FCS team. Like, the Big 12 is not the best conference. I've heard this all week online, just on Instagram or, college football memes or something that, the Big 12's so good.
When one of your better teams in your conference goes into third or fourth overtime against an FCS school.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Bad look. Very bad. I don't
That's a
care
bad look.
I don't care how big of a rivalry it is. Like, imagine Florida went into 3 overtimes with a FCS school. There'd be chaos. Like, that's the third best team probably, that's probably like the fourth best team in the SEC. Because you got LSU, Georgia, and Alabama.
Yeah. And Kentucky might beat them this year, so you never know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which me and Brian are actually going to that game.
I can't wait.
Yep, and Jacob sucks.
It's actually, I think it's been like 10 years since I've been to a UK football game, so I'm looking forward to
We got
that.
7, actually. We went to two different ones.
We did, but
They won both of them, too.
yeah.
I remember that.
Because one of them was against an FCS school.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
heck.
One of them was. But the other one was actually against Arkansas, and it was like that big Randall Cobb leg comeback.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
That was a fun game.
Yep.
But I think it was 2009 or 2008 or something like that. Somewhere around there.
Don't worry, Jake. Me and you are going to Tennessee one. But,
Tennessee's going to die.
yeah, I'm going with the Fighting Irish. One, because I am a fanboy. I do want to see Notre Dame win the national championship. But I actually don't think like they're a terrible pick or anything. The toughest test that we're going to have to run into is we got to play. We have to play Georgia at Georgia. We have to play Michigan at Michigan, and we got to play Stanford at Stanford. That is a gauntlet of 3 games right there.
If it's any. If it makes you feel any better, last year something I noticed, Notre Dame played their best when they were against the biggest opponents.
Yeah, and they
except Clemson, but that was Clemson.
Yeah,
but
and I remember like you have all these dumb people going, Notre Dame shouldn't be back in the playoffs because they got embarrassed by Clemson. Okay, so Bama shouldn't be back in the playoffs.
Right,
like Bama got beat by more points than
they were beaten like a drum.
Yeah, like that. Like at least the Notre Dame game was competitive for a half, and then it kind of got out of control. But yeah, I'm going to pick the Irish because I'm a fanboy. Clemson will probably win it, but go Irish. And what's your reasoning for picking Texas? Because them sexy uniforms.
Kind of.
Yeah, they're fine.
But
he's
they've
a
also
Texas guy.
yeah,
likes Texas.
and they've got some. I think they've got some good players this year. They've got some good talent with them.
They got a great quarterback, Sam Ellinger.
Sam. He's
good.
He's a boss.
Yep.
I can never think of names. I just know
he's good. He lit up Georgia last year, which I couldn't make me more happier because I despise Georgia just as a program. I hate their fans. But we're going to get into upset picks. And me and Brian have the same one on this. I'm not entirely sure what Jake's is. I haven't asked him. But, Brian, what's your upset pick of the week?
My upset pick of the week is Cincinnati beating Ohio State.
Same.
Yeah.
This is a game that I can see going to Cincinnati. Cincinnati. This is an in-state rivalry, and I'm with you. I think this. It's
gonna be fun regardless.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Jake, who do you got?
Uh,
Oh boy.
uh,
What's Jake gonna say here? I don't think Jake has any idea who to go with.
I'm gonna go with Cincinnati over Ohio State.
Yeah. What's your reasoning?
I think that they could really take away the game.
Yeah. Just give us that knowledge. Bestow it on us.
They have nice uniforms too.
They do have nice.
Cincinnati has awesome.
Yeah,
uniforms.
And
I love
you
them.
I
know
love 'em.
the spirit of Tebow
Well, God.
could possibly
Yeah. I
guide
think so.
Cincinnati.
Jacob.
Well, the spirit of Tebow, I think it will help Cincinnati because it's that underdog. Yeah,
And I know they love Jesus.
yeah. They go, yeah,
Jacob.
yeah. I don't know.
They do. Yeah, they love
Actually, the
Jesus.
spirit of Tebow, if it were to guide any of these two teams, it would be Ohio State because Urban Meyer coached at Ohio State and Urban Meyer coached Tim Tebow. But yeah, we'll
Tim
just go
Tebow secretly hated him.
Yeah.
Jacob, I swear to God, I'm going to kick your teeth in.
Yeah.
The spirit of Tebow is restless and wants an upset.
Yeah. It wants blood.
Yep.
He's a Grim Reaper.
Deep down inside, Team Tebow is
Tim Tebow up against the entire football team of Cincinnati in a Hell in a Cell.
We all have Cincinnati over Ohio State. Okay, so actually tonight we have a interesting game that I just want to include. This one won't take long, but who do y'all got, Marshall or Boise State, Brian?
I'm going to pick Boise State, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a game. Marshall will make it into a game, I think, but
Yeah.
Boise State will pull it out.
Who do you got, Jake?
I really want Marshall to win because I like Marshall. They're close. They're close to home for me.
Yeah, they have that masterpiece of a film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
I was talking about just the proximity to where I live.
Nope, the film.
We are Marshall.
It's the greatest film ever made.
Who plays in it? Is it
Matthew McConaughey.
That's it, McConaughey.
Man, all right.
All right. Yeah.
I went to space with Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I really. But Boise State, is it at Boise State?
Yeah, it's at Boise.
Oh, we're going to get to see the big blue field.
Yeah, and
the big
also,
blue monster.
That's the place of the potatoes. So yeah, I'm going to go with what? Yeah, Boise, Idaho. Boise, Idaho is potatoes. Idaho potatoes. It ain't the Florida famine thing you were talking about last week. That was wild. I'm going to go with you know what? Because I was going to pick Boise State, but you two have picked them, and this ain't part of our pick 'em thing.
I
This was
picked
just
Marshall.
you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
I just said I want Marshall to win.
okay, I'm going with Boise State then. Yeah.
We are Marshall.
That's right. The greatest film ever. I forgot. We got caught up in just how artful that film is.
We've gone on a lot of tangents today.
Yeah, we have. The 5 best games of the week. We already talked about Cincinnati and Ohio State. We all have Cincinnati in that, so there's no need to discuss that. Texas A&M versus Clemson. It's at Clemson. Who do y'all got?
I got Clemson.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence plays his best against the tougher opponent, so
He does.
I think he'll do fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson.
Yeah. I'm going for Clemson, too. We all three are going for Clemson here. I do think this will be a game.
Oh yeah, it will be.
Texas A&M is a very good football team.
They are.
And Texas A&M was one of the few teams that almost beat Clemson last year.
They were.
So this is a game to watch out for. This is also just an exciting week of college football. But we're going to our third game here, USC versus Stanford. Who do you got, Brian?
I'm going to go with USC.
Yeah.
I think USC will play it out. Like I said, I think they're on a rebuilding year, and I think they're going to do a whole lot better this year than they did last.
I had them win the Pac-12, and that's done for probably. There goes that pick with the quarterback down.
You never know. I mean, stuff like this, maybe the backup will come in and do something. But
That's what Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was a backup until. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'll pick USC.
Yeah.
I picked against Stanford last week, and that didn't go well for me. But
Yeah.
I got a good feeling.
Yeah. You got a feeling like tonight's gonna be a good night. Yeah.
Oh, don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't. Tyler,
Yep.
don't.
Yep. I'm singing these great songs. Jake, who do you got in this great game here?
Stanford.
Yeah. I'm going to take Stanford too in the farm. It's at the farm at Stanford, so I'm with you. By the way, anybody don't know, this is the game with 2 injured quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks for both teams are injured.
Do you remember that game? I think it was an NFL game though. And I'm sorry to go off on another tangent,
no, it's fine.
but I remember the team didn't have a kicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Seahawks versus the Cowboys.
That's what,
Right.
and the Seahawks didn't have a kicker, and the punter had actually punted a field goal in.
Yeah. That was
the coolest thing ever.
That was a mess.
What was it? Was it drop? He drop kicked it in.
Which hasn't been attempted since the.
Doug Flutie was, I think, the
in
last
New
one to do
England,
it for New
That's
England.
awesome.
Yep. Who do y'all got between Army and Michigan? It's at Michigan.
Michigan.
You taking Michigan?
Yeah, I'll take Michigan.
Yep.
They have a really good defense against that type of offense. So
Yeah.
I think Michigan will win.
Yeah. Who do you got?
I got the Army. They're going to run the option.
I have. You know what? I have been almost tempted to take this as my upset pick. You know what? I'm changing it. Ohio State will beat Cincinnati, and I'm going with Army over Michigan. I'm going with the gutsy pick.
I'm changing
Okay,
mine
this
too.
is
Then
dumb. Here's
I'm
the-
changing.
here's the thing,
I
though.
need
If
it.
this
I am
happens-
changing mine.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh could kiss himself goodbye.
Fired.
Yeah,
Fired. Absolutely
If this
fired.
happens, because this means that they're probably not going to win their conference.
Yeah.
So think about this.
I have Michigan in the Final Four, so this is really dumb.
Yeah,
but I'm going with pure emotion here. I want Army to win this, and I want something to laugh at again.
I really want Army to win this.
Yeah, I
They're
do
one of
too.
my favorite teams to watch, man.
I love their offense. It's just
Run the option!
run the option nonstop. And it is tough for like teams to prepare for that because you don't see that offense really ever. There's only 3 teams in college football that run it.
I sort of just see like the head coach of Army with like one of those like magic 8 balls that you shake, and every time he's like, "What play should I run, Corso?"
Option.
And it says, "Run the option."
He's like,
It's
"Oh, okay,
go out there and run the option."
But you know what? I'm gonna go with that as my upset pick. This is dumb. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is stupid. But anyways, so I've got Ohio State over Cincinnati now.
Same here.
I'm going to take. Okay, so you're switching that one too, and your
Yeah.
upset pick's going to be Army. Over
Yeah, it's
Michigan.
stupid, so I have to do
I'll be a
it.
dissenter.
Remember?
Fine. Oh.
Yeah, yours makes sense. I'm going with Clemson over A&M and Stanford over USC and Army over Michigan because I'm a fool, and so is Jake. But we're going to get to the game of the week, which this one, oh boy, this is exciting. We've got LSU traveling to Texas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've got
Brian-
Texas winning, of course.
Brian, who do you got? in
I want to
this?
actually pick Texas,
Really?
specifically because it's at Texas.
I'm going to be the oddball here, I think. Yep.
It's at Texas.
I have to pick Texas.
I'm going to pick because both of these teams I think are even.
Yeah.
But I think that the only edge I'm going to give, I can give is home field advantage.
Yeah.
So that's why I am picking Texas.
And that actually means a lot in college football, I've
It
learned.
does. Unlike the NFL, which it means something, but college
It
football
depends on
is
what
like-
stadium
yeah,
you go
that's
to.
true.
Like, I mean, Chicago, Green Bay, New England,
Yeah.
Seattle, places like that definitely have home field advantage.
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
No. But I'm actually going to go with LSU, and here's my reasoning. I've learned that, and I've stated this last week, the SEC, whenever you play, like, the SEC against out-of-conference foes, the SEC just has better defensive line play. They have better offensive line play. I do think Texas has the better quarterback. It's almost like a matchup between Oregon and Auburn of last week where the Oregon has the better quarterback, just like, Texas does. But I don't know. LSU, plus I just love their coach. Their coach reminds me of the crazy coach off Waterboy who can barely speak a word of English. Yeah. But I'm gonna go with LSU Tigers. I think they'll pull this one out. Very good football team. I think they'll walk into Austin, Texas, and you know what? Let's do a score prediction. What do you think the final score will be, Brian?
Between Texas and LSU?
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 24 to 17, 20 to 14, somewhere around there.
Yep.
Like, it's going to be pretty low scoring, I think, because I think that this will be kind of a battle.
Yeah, I do too. What's your score prediction?
I was going to say 28-24.
28-24. I'm going to go with 20 to 17. I think I'm with. I think we all three agree that this will be a 3 to 4 point game. But that's it for our games of the week. And we're actually getting near the end of this show. There is one more thing I wanted to bring up, and that's our overall records that I hold some bragging rights on right now. Counting week 0 and week 1, I am 7-2. Brian, what is your record?
I'm 5-4.
Yep. And Jake?
Ooh.
Jake is a 4-5. He is in last place.
If we want to count last night, you should be 7-3, and I'm 6-4.
I ain't counting the pro games. This is a college podcast.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying here.
Yeah, we just sort of went on a rant because of good old AB.
AB has been the most entertaining thing in the world. But as for our guest picker, I want to do a shout out for our guest picker here, Dakota Deer. He went 4-1. He's our first ever guest picker. He went 4-1, and the only one that bit him in the ass was picking Louisville over Notre Dame, which was idiotic. But
He was trolling you when he did
was.
that.
He was.
Let's face it.
Yeah. He hates the Irish. But I also want to bring up one more thing about Dakota. He's actually he has his own podcast, and I can't remember the name of it. Falling Forward, I think is the name of it.
That is.
And,
You told it to me before.
Yeah. He's starting it back. So anybody that is into Christianity or really religious, and he's a good speaker. He has a good voice. But I figured we would, in this episode now, we have a
1 second. I had something to say.
Okay, yeah, that is right.
We're not going to do this very often.
Mm-hmm.
stuff like this. I don't like asking our audience for anything, but this is more so for your all's benefit, if you can call it that. We're going to start taking guest pickers in what is it, week 5 we have open?
Week 5, yeah. Because we already have 2 guest
and-
pickers for week 3 and week 4.
Yeah. So we have some guest pickers already lined out, but
Yeah.
if you all just happen, somebody wants to try out for themselves and give us your own predictions on the games, you can email us at roadtotherosebowlcollegefootba, B-A,
And take out the 2 L's on the football.
yes,
Yeah.
at gmail.com.
Yes.
I'll put a link down into the description to our email.
Yeah.
You can email us there if you want to, and we'll go through and we'll tell you when to send us a video and when we'll put it in, when it'll be up, all that good stuff.
We've also started up a Twitter page, too. And, again, we're not asking for any money. We could care less about money. We're doing this for fun. We're fans.
Yeah, we do not want your money, guys.
Yeah.
And we will not do this very often, like
Yeah.
trying to get you all to go to other
And
stuff
honestly-
and follow us.
Honestly, we're doing this to get the listeners more involved, because the way I view listeners is they're just, we're all the same. We all love the sport. We all love college football. And listeners are... It's the same as you all just sitting in this room with us.
That's what we like to imagine as,
yeah.
yes.
Like,
Don't think of us as talking at you. We're
Yeah.
trying our best to talk to you
yeah, or with you.
and with you, yes. And yeah, we're not going to do this often.
Yeah,
'Cause-
this is just a fun thing to include possibly anybody that wants to,
If
be a
y'all
part
happen to
of
be
it.
if y'all happen to be entertained by it, and y'all just want to keep up with us a little bit better,
Yeah.
we're just going to try and give you an alternative or
Yeah,
two.
and if you don't want to do it, that's fine too.
Yeah, we don't care.
we hate everything.
Yeah, guys, we're only doing this because we thought it would be fun to do. And
Yeah.
if somebody happened to listen to us, good. And if somebody happened to agree with us, better.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is mainly... It's just a thing we just enjoy doing.
Yes,
we're not trying to gain an audience. We're not trying to get our voices out.
I'm trying to build a brand. Shut up.
We're building a Patreon. Give us $1,000.
$1,000 or we quit.
Yeah, 74,000 likes by tonight.
I'll die.
I won't be satisfied.
Yeah.
It's like one of those.
None of that. We're doing none of that.
It's like one of those copy pastas. Send this to 10 people, or else your mother dies.
You see them all the time on Facebook. They're so stupid. Like, if you don't repost this now, you'll have like 10 years of bad luck or something.
Repost this, or Jesus will hate you.
Yeah, you'll burn in hell. It's like, I don't think that's how religion works, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't think Jesus cares about Facebook, guys.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. So, yeah. Guys,
We don't deserve money.
do not send us money.
Yeah,
we
stupid.
Where did money even come
you
into
would be
this?
better off lighting your money on fire.
Where did money even come into
put
this?
it
It
in
ad?
and drink it.
it would be less of a waste if you lit your money on fire.
We never were
Don't-
going to link them to a Patreon, guys. Where did money come in?
You know what? Just donate all your money to Antonio Brown's mental health. because
Please.
he needs help.
Please send it to the Raiders. They'll
Yeah.
waste it just as bad as we would.
But we're going to end the show now. We have a guest picker this week. A boy we know named John. He's a good friend of mine, again, like Dakota was, and he was nice enough to do this for us. So we're just going to end it on that note, and Mormon out.
We'll see y'all later, bulls.
Enjoy some football, guys.
Yep, have a good.
So we got a good week of college football coming up this week. We have Cincy at Ohio State, number 5 Ohio State. So it's going to be an in-state rivalry kind of battle. Going to be a hard, tough-nosed game, but Ohio State's going to come out on top. Just a better quality team. Don't sleep on Cincy though. We also got number 12 Texas A&M at number 1 Clemson. Now that's going to be a good game to watch. Everybody better definitely check in on that. Clemson's got the top-rated player in the country, Trevor Lawrence, and he's going to be a dog. He's going to do what he's got to do to get the W. We also got USC at number 25 Stanford this week. So as you guys heard, USC's quarterback JT Daniels tore his ACL and his meniscus. So that hits at home with me a little bit too as well. I had to deal with that same business a while back. So shout out to him and hope for speedy recovery. We also got Army at number 7 Michigan. Now this is a game that I'm definitely intrigued about. Army's going to go out there and play tough. Michigan's never been one to, let's just say, play well in games they know they should win. So definitely don't sleep on Army. And we also got the game of the week this week. This is going to be a huge game. SEC, man. LSU, number 6, going against Texas, number 10. I mean, Texas, everybody's saying this is their year. They've said it the last couple of years. But for me, I'm going to go with LSU dominating this one. We're going to go with Michigan over Army. Number 25, Stanford's going to win over USC. It's going to be like a heartfelt kind of game. Number 1, Clemson, and we will round out with number 5, Ohio State's going to win their game too as well.